Hello everybody. I wanted to post a little video highlighting the week 2 assignment checklist and just highlight what it is that we're trying to accomplish in the class this week. You have one collaborative task that has two parts to it, and then the other major thing you'll be doing this week is an individual assignment that follows up to the chunking your course content assignment from last week. For your collaborative task, you need to make sure early in the week that you've got your teams formed. There should be at least 3 people on each team. We're trying to get a 7th person added into the course. We had problems and then last week, and we're still trying to get her in on Tuesday of this week once the university's back open. And so hopefully we'll be adding a 4th person, and I'm sure you guys will welcome her with open arms. And she'll be needing to join one of those 2 teams. The first team task is to form your teams, and then the second team task that you're going to be working on this week is to create your team contract. Your team contract is a document that you will create as a group that describes the kind of guidelines you will follow as a group, and there are specific kinds of questions and prompts on there. It also gives the opportunity to choose a cool name to call yourselves by. But the serious part of the document is, making decisions about how you're going to ensure that everyone participates, how you're going to ensure that people are able to get in touch with one another, as well as backup plans for what to do if someone isn't carrying their weight or someone isn't fulfilling their responsibilities. So I look forward to seeing the ideas you come up with for making your teams work, and if any of you want feedback from me on those, you can contact me by phone, by email, or online in the clarifications section area. Then for your individual tasks this week, these are all really focused on the next stage of developing your online class, which is to create the course outcomes for your course. So I've selected 2 articles for you to read this week. One has to do with designing modules, which connects to the chunking assignment from last week, but it also connects with the choosing content and outcomes focus of this week. And then I also have another article on assessment of learning outcomes. So the assessment part of that article is a little look ahead to what will start next week in Module 2, which is good to keep in mind. But the parts in that article about, or I guess technically it's a working paper, parts in that working paper about creating learning objectives and kinds of learning objectives can help supplement the videos that you've watched on learning objectives or anything else that you've studied about learning objectives before. So each of those 2 articles you'll read, and I have a different discussion prompt for each of them. So there are 2 different little reading discussion fora, and make sure that you read the prompts for those and respond, and that you respond to my original prompts, and then that you respond to 3 of your classmates. You can respond to more. I mean, there are only 7 people in the class. If you notice that somebody's not getting responses from others, then try to make sure that everybody gets at least 1 response. It's kind of sad to post something and nobody responds to it. Then the component of the assignment where you're going to be responding to creating your learning outcomes, I'm calling a curriculum mapping assignment. I had this originally just divided into 2 different assignments, one where you created your learning outcomes for your course, and the second where you then mapped your learning outcomes from your course to the program outcomes or department outcomes in which your course is situated. And then I decided, oh boy, it actually probably makes more sense to craft the course learning outcomes while you're looking at your program outcomes or department outcomes and align them as you go. That will kind of help ensure that make sure that it will help ensure that each of the program outcomes you should include in your course then have course outcomes or course objectives that align with them. Now, don't think that you're going to cover every single one of your program or department outcomes in one course that you teach. If you can cover all of your program outcomes or department outcomes in one course taught in the program, then it's not a very not a very complex program probably. You will just be addressing certain of the program outcomes in your course. So be sure to clearly identify which of those program outcomes are aligned with your course and how your course outcomes fit those. There are 3 videos, I believe, I've posted on creating learning outcomes and objectives. Some of them talk about Bloom's taxonomy. Some of you may be familiar with Bloom's taxonomy, others may not. This just reminds me as I'm talking that I do have some document handouts that I could post on the course website related to Bloom's taxonomy. It may take me a little while to find them because I haven't taught an assessment course in several years now. But you've got the readings related to your assignment, you've got the videos posted, and then also I've posted a sample for you. I've posted the curriculum map that I created for this class that you're taking, 607, Designing Online whatever we're calling this, Designing Online Courses. And so you can see what my finished curriculum map looked like. It may be that your department or your school or college or university uses a different kind of format from the one that I've got in the assignment template. It's fine if you create your own format, just as long as what you create shows me the alignment between your course outcomes and the outcomes at a higher level. Some programs don't have outcomes listed. In that case, you can align to the department. In some cases, neither programs nor departments have outcomes created and made clear. In that case, you can align with the college or school or university mission statement. If you can't find any program outcomes or department outcomes or university or college or school outcomes that fit with what you're doing, why don't you go ahead and use the Andrews University mission statement to align your outcomes with. And I've given you a link on the assignment template at the bottom of the page, a link to the web page that has the university mission statement. And there are 3 major points. Seek knowledge is the first one, affirm faith is the middle one, and change the world is the third one. And then under each of those, there are bulleted lists. So there are 3 different bulleted lists. And if you want to number those, you can number the main things, the main headings 1, 2, 3, and then the things underneath them, A, B, C, D, etc. So you could talk about outcome 1B or 3C or 4E. I'm sorry, or 2E. We only have 1, 2, and 3 on the university mission statement. All right, well, this is what we've got set for week 2. If you have any questions, be sure and post in the clarifications forum, and I look forward to lots of activity on the course site this week. Some of you are a little bit behind and need to get moving along. I have some flexibility I can provide in assignments, but we do need to get most of them done each week. There were a lot of little things to do last week, and I think this week there are fewer things listed, but some of them are more substantive, and so it may end up taking you about the same amount of time this week as last week. But let me know if you have questions. Again, use the clarifications forum, and I look forward to seeing you all online. Goodbye.